All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, wherever you are in this beautiful world. Welcome to our Inner Circle Live pre-New York session. I'm your host, Ryan Carthage. We'll be joined shortly by my awesome partner, Mr. Benny Allen. Hope everybody's doing well today on this beautiful Tuesday. As always, let's turn off all distractions, grab a pen and paper, let's take lots of notes, and let's make sure that we participate and engage, all right? As always, we want to make sure we start our day off by taking massive action, and that action stands for accepting all possible losses before entering a trade, preparing you for any outcome, centering yourself, body, mind, and spirit, ensuring a balanced approach to trading, trusting your education, strategy, trading skills, and intuition. Imagine your trade successfully materializing, obeying your trading strategy, avoiding decisions based on greed or fear, and never looking back or stopping once your trade has commenced. All right. So if everybody can hear me okay, drop me one in the chat and we will get rocking. Perfect. Appreciate it. See the ones coming in. All right. So uh let's we'll go to the calendar first. Then we'll take a look at trading economics and then a quick article from Bloomberg, and then we will dive into the charts. All right. So let's go there. And all right. So make sure everybody's good. All right. Um, quick update. So Sunday you had OPEC meetings. Um, and the discussion was about bringing barrels of oil back into supply, and that is driving oil down, right? There's concerns of oversupply in the market. So you're seeing oil push to the downside. So that's something to continue to note and keep our eyes on. Uh, we had Japan manufacturing PMI come in just a tick below expectation, but pretty much in line. Then on Monday, you had final manufacturing PMI for the United States. That came in a bit mixed, right? You had the final manufacturing PMI come in above expectation, but then you had the ISM manufacturing PMI come in below expectation. So um, the market now is betting on Fed cuts this year again. So that's kind of spurring that conversation because manufacturing is showing signs of slowing. All right. So that is something we'll also continue to monitor is that back and forth conversation of the mixed data and mixed feelings about where the Fed is regarding interest rates as we continue. Um, mm, 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 mm. This morning we had a Swiss CPI come in at expectation, right? So nothing that pushed the Swissy down. Well, no, strengthened the Swissy just a little bit, right? Inflation is trying to be a little bit sticky or stickier than expected. So continue watching the Swissy, right? We got some plays on those, excuse me, that are playing out in the NZD Swiss 80-20 moving to the downside. So we'll continue to watch the Swiss and see when it gets to a point of stability and then gives us a move back to the upside. So we'll continue to watch the Swiss right there. Later on today, we got Joe's job openings. And tonight we got GDP for the Aussie. All right. And average cash earnings for Japan. This is going to be key uh, for the BOJ to see if some of those wage hikes are starting to show up in the data. All right. as they're trying to assess when they start to make these changes in Japan. Tomorrow, we got our regular slew ADP non-farm employment change, but we have Bank of Canada rate statement. That's going to be key for the Canadian dollar, as it's been relatively weak as of late. Final services PMI for the United States, and then the Bank of Canada press conference at 10:30. We also got 30-year bond auction for the yen tomorrow night, and then Thursday we got the ECB rate statement. ECB is expected to cut rates. However, the data is becoming a little bit sticky. All right. So we'll watch that there. Unemployment claims for the dollar, the ECB press conference. And then on Friday, we have our regular slew employment change unemployment rate for Canada, average hourly earnings, non-farm payroll, and unemployment rate for the United States. So tons of data sprinkled throughout starting today. Starting yesterday. So we'll continue to monitor things there and see where it pushes the market. All right. Some interesting things happening. So over to refresh this one more time. European equity stocks were low on Tuesday, filling the whole gains in the previous month, tracking general cautious mood. And lower than expected ISM manufacturing PMI for the United States weighed on the market sentiment, while investors eagerly await the ECB monetary decision later this week. So they're watching things there. Then you have Brent, right? Crude futures fell below $78 a barrel on Tuesday, sliding from the fifth straight session to its lowest in 4 months, amid concerns of global supply could increase later this year. All right. On Sunday, OPEC agreed to extend most of the cuts into 2025, but opened the door for voluntary cuts from 8 member countries to be gradually unwound from October onward, right? So by December, more than 500,000 barrels per day is expected to re-enter the market, with a total of 1.8 barrels per day returning by June 2025. All right. Signs of economic weakness in the United States, the world's largest oil consumer, also weighed on oil prices after manufacturing activity contracted further in May. Right. Moreover, oil markets have been pressured recently by fears the U.S. Federal Reserve would not cut interest rates this year, potentially slowing economic growth and reducing oil demand. All right. So you got a lower demand, but the potential to increase supply, right? You got an interesting back and forth happening there. All right. So we'll continue to watch things from that perspective. Then we had, I'm going to go over to Bloomberg. And if you've looked at your charts this morning, we have, right, Bank of Japan ways reducing bond buys as early as June meeting, right? They don't want to surprise bond traders, but they are discussing, right, if they will reduce their bond purchases at the June meeting, right? And that's in preparation for, I'll send this article to you guys, but ultimately, this conversation is being discussed. They haven't mentioned an amount that they would reduce by, but they just wanted to be aware that they could start to unwind those purchases, right? And that's in preparation for future increases, right? In that full shift of monetary policy. So, with this being widely known conversation, you're starting to see some strengthening coming out of or coming for the yen. Okay, so something to keep our eyes on and stay aware of as we look at the yen, and for those that are in any trades for the yen. So that is Bloomberg. That's it from a fundamental perspective. Are there any questions from anybody on the fundamentals? No. Benny, good morning, bro.
Good morning, Ryan. Good morning, everybody. How are you this morning, sir?
I'm doing well, man. How about yourself?
Man, doing pretty good. Always glad to be here with the team.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Anything standing out for you fundamentally, bro? Or in top of
No,
mind?
man, just you know, every you covered all the key, fundamentals. That the PMI manufacturing for the United States showing contraction again, right?
Yep.
So some things are slowing down. And then, with the ECB decision looming, everybody's waiting on that forward guidance. So you can see, like, besides what you just showed with the Bank of Japan, the market's kind of tied up,
Yeah.
right now, waiting on that decision, kind of gridlock, So I guess uh the manufacturing contraction in the United States, kind of increases the chances of a rate cut in September, but you know how that goes back and forth. The data's been choppy in regards to what's going on in the United States here. You get one report like that, and then you'll get a non-farm payroll report on Friday where the jobs are back through the roof. Something crazy. Like so,
Exactly.
it's been a lot of back and forth, which could make for some tough trading. But it's just important that we remain patient, and then with the Swiss franc as of late,
Yep.
like ever since Chairman Jordan said what he said, you know, uh, regarding what's going on with the economy there in Switzerland and some of the precautions that they may have to take, so now, people are decreasing the chances of another rate cut coming out of the SMB, so that's strengthened
Mm.
the Swiss franc a little bit here as of late. So just continuing to be patient, let things play out. But the big thing this week is going to be the ECB, the forward guidance from the ECB, and then Friday we've got a lot of data this week, but of course the non-farm payroll is looming
Yeah.
large as well,
Yeah.
tying the market up. So that's it.
Yeah.
That's it, man.
And we had that Swissy CPI come in at
Yes.
expectation, but still it hasn't come down at all. So
Yep. 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 Yep.
a little bit sticky there. Any thoughts on that rate statement for Canada tomorrow?
A lot of people are the probability is high for a rate cut,
Yeah,
right? For a rate cut, we'll see.
we
We'll see,
shall.
man. Yeah, it's gonna
We
be
shall.
quite interesting because so is a little bit different because some of the economic numbers for uh Canada have been a bit mixed. And then you always have to worry about the oil situation with the Canadian dollar. Uh, but you got like kind of the exact opposite going on with the ECB, right? When you look at since the ECB's last meeting, all the key fundamental indicators for the euro, they've all
Right.
been pretty green, pretty bullish, you know. So it's gonna be interesting to see what's gonna happen tomorrow. You see that euro dollar's kind of bouncing back and forth. It took off and then it came down, just ahead of that decision this week. Because I here's what I think. Um, I can't get a beat on how that's gonna impact the dollar with non-farm payroll being on Friday. Kind of a tough spot, but with all of the economic indicators looking good out of the eurozone, uh, definitely a rate cut. But then that forward guidance, I'm thinking they're going to be data dependent, and they're not going to make any type of. I don't think it's going to be dovish. Her statement
Yeah.
on Thursday because of the economic indicators have been good since
Yeah.
since the last meeting. So it might be like a one rate cut and done type of scenario with the euro, and so I'm interested to see if that causes the euro dollar to rally. So I'm not sure. So it's gonna be Thursday's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I feel you on that. And that's kind of the sentiment though, right? Is that things are getting sticky. I just posted an article from Bloomberg. Um, ECB rate cut expectations start to unravel before the first move. With strong wage growth uh, also adding to that stickiness.
Yes.
So I'm in agreement with you that I think is going to be dovish cut. I mean, a hawkish cut, right?
Yep.
So that the statement being more hawkish, and turning things around for the year. I'm in agreement with that sentiment. So it'll be interesting to see, man.
Yeah, I'll definitely, always a student. I'll be sitting back and watching the price action. I'll learn a lot this week with this scenario. So
Yeah, yeah, for sure. For sure. All right, cool deal. Appreciate you, bro.
you're welcome.
All right, so over to the charts. We'll take a look at the dollar, and we haven't been able to break the support level of 103. Right, came down, pushed back up, came right back down to the level. So we got a double bottom here at 103,933. Price is turning over. We put in a low already on the 4, right? Pushing back to the upside. We come back to the daily, and you see, right? You see the bounce. So we'll continue to monitor to see if we get some follow through here or not on the DXY. All right. But we haven't been able to break that level. So that is for now going to continue to be a key level for us, right? And you see on the 1, that turnover and that push to the upside there. All right. So strength for the dollar for now. And then we'll see how the data comes out for the rest of the week. Okay. So that is the DXY. And 1 second. All right. Cool. That's the DXY. And then I want to take a look at I'll take a look at these yen crosses, and then we'll take a look at Canadian CAD pairs, and then we'll take a look at dollar pairs. And we'll pick at that NZD Swissy as well. So dollar yen. All right, we've been watching and watching and watching. It's been lingering in this 118 and 127 zone, and we see this turnover happening on the daily time frame. We're pressing down again. We do have the support level here. Let me take this out for a second. Got that support level there, and we got another support level here that we'll have to push through. However, dollar yen pushing back down to the downside. All right, so we'll see if we're able to get down to this 382, 50% range. At some point, we'll see how the data comes out, and we'll also see how the conversations in Japan continue to progress. All right. Also, the Bank of Japan finally acknowledged that they did intervene. Obviously, the data showed it, but they acknowledged it verbally, said that it did have some impact. And they'll continue monitoring things just to ensure that things don't get out of hand. So their regular narrative there, but they did finally admit that they did intervene, and due to volatile movement opposed to price levels is what the tone was. So, so it's down to the 4 on this dollar yen, right? You see us pushing again out of that 118, 127 zone. We have broken the cloud. We do have a bearish twist, and we do have the lagging span breaking through the cloud as well. So we got confirmations there. We'll see though, right? We'd definitely like to see a break at 153,607 as additional confirmation, as we've been in this range for a bit, right? So that'll give us some confirmation of the first breakout of the range. And then we got that other level at 151. So we'll continue watching this one as it progresses. We got 80-20 on the daily and on the 4. And then if we come down to the 1, run the fib off the low here. Nope. One more over. And you see we took out the A on this fib, but we also had an 80-20 here on the 1 hour. And you see Sunday to Monday to Tuesday, we're pressing to the downside. All right. So now on the 1 hour, our active fib sequence is here. Right. And this is the move to the downside. We hit the D extension. So we'll look for a fresh AV boundary at some point. And then we'll see what happens data wise, but we could be in for pullbacks and continuations to the downside here. Okay, at least in the short term. So we'll watch and see if we're able to get a low price at some point. I'm not sure if anybody was willing to take this trade and sit in it to the downside, but if you were, paying off a little bit for you. All right. Questions on the dollar yen? No. Nope. All right. Cool deal. While we're on this side, we'll pop in and take a look at this NZD Swiss, right? We had this 80-20 on the 4, shallow retracement, 118, 127 zone. We got the initial breakdown last week, break of the trend line. We got a little bit of a pullback, right? And we also broke the cloud as well, pulled back, retested the cloud. Now we're pushing below this weekly level at 55,092. So we'll look for low prices to then see if we can get back long. All right. Bounce back to the daily real quick. And on this daily time frame, this is our AB boundary here, right? So looking for price to continue pushing down. See if we get down into our zone, right? The 618 level, potentially deeper, but coming back to retest this consolidation that we broke out of here, right? So looking for price to continue present to the downside, coming back into the zone, maybe even retesting the cloud, which would be beautiful, right in line with that 618 retracement level, right? And then we'll look to get long. So I'm watching this one. I missed the opportunity to take that 80-20 on the 4 to the downside. So I'm sitting looking to see if I can get a deep retracement on the daily time frame coming into that 618 level. So I'll continue to watch this one from a daily time frame to see. If we come down to the 1, right, you see that move on the 1 hour here. Took out our A boundary, right? But we had an 80-20 there as well. Boom. That last push down took out the A. So we'll flip the fib and we'll run it to the downside like that. So now on the 1 hour, we're tracking down. All right. So there we are on the NZD Swiss. I don't know if anybody took this one, but it's been a beautiful move out of the zone. Yeah, so we'll continue monitoring there. All right, that's 94 pips to the downside on the NZD Swiss. Questions here?
No, sir.
All right, cool deal. NZD JPY down. All right, we'll come into the support level there, but let's go back to the daily. All right, and here on the daily, we had a fresh AB boundary, and there's that push down. We got daily support there that we're testing right now. We'll see if we're able to break that or not, right? If we are, look to give us a deep retracement again, come back to test that cloud. On the 4, we just missed the D extension here. I thought we would have hit that. We just missed the D extension on the 4 when we got this turnover. So this level is going to be key on this NZD JPY. Previous resistance, see if it serves as support again, or if we're able to break that and push lower there. All right. Back to the 1. I believe we had, yep, there we go. And there's our 80-20 on the 1. Right. So a bit range bound initially. So we'll see if this holds or if we break down to continue this move to the downside there. All right. So that's the level that I'm watching to see if this continues to the downside. But starting the movement out of the 118 and 127 zone nonetheless. All right. Questions on the NZD JPY? Click anything. That's wild. Hold on 1 second. No, no questions. Okay. All right, we'll continue rolling. Over to, I haven't looked at this Aussie yen this morning. But we weren't able to break that 105.405 level. Okay, we still have this 80-20 on the weekly time frame. We'll see what happens. But Let's see if we break back below 102,847, right? Previous resistance. We'll see if it holds a support or if we're able to break back through. If we break that level, we could be in for a deeper move here, right? And it's on the weekly time frame, so longer term scenarios. But just looking at some longer term potential opportunities here. Okay. We got support levels trickled throughout here that will also monitor like that. All right. So that's the weekly look. So we'll see if this is a full shift based on the Bank of Japan, or if this is just a temporary scenario. Okay. Down to the daily, our fresh AB boundary, right? With that fresh AB boundary, we know we need a retracement at some point. It's just a matter of how deep that retracement comes. We got a trend line running to the upside here. So do we come back to that 382 level, test the trend line and bounce, or do we break it and continue moving lower? Okay. So on this one, there weren't any 80-20 scenarios, it was just key levels that price was sitting at, right? That 105 level we came just shy of here. Okay. And so turning over, we'll see how deep that moves there on the 4. Okay. And then here on the 1, more of the same. Okay, more of the same. Still a 50% retracement, push back into the zone and return back over. So just a matter of how deep this move goes. And if the Bank of Japan actually makes changes, which could make this a longer term scenario. So we'll watch and see, but we could be in for, like, on all of these yens, pullbacks and continuation. So we'll look for a swing low to form at some point, and we'll see if we get a high price and we're able to stay below this resistance level here. That's a daily resistance level. See if we're able to stay below this level and continue moving to the downside. So we'll watch this one. Nothing doing just yet, but just wanted to check in on it as all of them are moving to the downside right now. Okay, questions on the Aussie yen?
Nope.
No. All right, cool deal. Aussie CAD sitting at this level, 91, 169. We're not able to break above yet, right? Strong bullish action, but it held at that level, right? 91, 169, 91, 271. Not able to break above. We're pulling back now. We'll see, right? That was a strong bullish candle. We're taking back some of it now, and we'll see, right? Based on tomorrow, Bank of Canada scenario, we'll see what happens here. If we're able to push above these levels finally and move out, we got a stochastic in the buy zone, just pushing out of the buy zone. So we'll continue to monitor to see if we get that movement to the upside there. To the 4, right? You see that consolidation, that push down, just shy of that 118, 127 zone. Okay, so we got some Aussie data mixed in this week as well, so we'll continue to monitor that also. But my question is, as we move into tomorrow, do we get a push to the upside to break these levels, right? And then at some point turn back over and come back down. That's what I'm looking at to see, right? We got another key level 92,315 that will also come into play at some point. So that's on the 4, right? We're range bound right now. We'll see if we're able to break out in one direction or the, well, see what direction we break out to then determine what our scenarios will be, right? So still being patient there on that move, and then come down to the 1, and this is our 80-20 scenario on the 1. Okay. This is going to be interesting. We had this consolidation here. We're well above the cloud. We're pulling back. So monitoring it from this perspective to see where price moves. Okay. Because we may not get that retracement now. We may get a push to the upside first, just based on fundamentals. All right. So those original trend lines that got broken, I'm going to take these out because it's clear that we're range bound here. And so I'll shift this to the outermost point like that. All right. And so that's where we are on the Aussie CAD. We got an 80-20 here, but looking to see what happens um, from a fundamental perspective. Okay. Questions on the Aussie CAD? I'm sitting
Nope.
patient on this one. No. All right. All right. Cool deal. Ba, 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 ba. CAD Swiss coming down, right? And you see here on the daily, we still haven't gotten to this. No, we did get to that 382 there. But daily resistance weren't able to break out above, pull back, right? This was a level of daily support that we just broke. So we got another key level, key zone coming in here, right? So pressing to the downside, we'll see how deep this goes. See stochastic pushing into the buy zone. So with that data tomorrow, maybe we see another push down into the zone, right? And then see if we get price to hold there. And then give us a reversal back to the upside. And even though they may cut for the Canadian dollar, still relatively dovish on the Swissy, right? So this will be an interesting scenario here. Maybe we get range bound for a little bit, but watching to see what happens here in this zone, right? 64,899, 64,785. See what happens to see if price is able to hold and then give us a bounce back to the upside. Okay. We did have a crown pattern play out here, right? And finish out to the upside. Uh, all right. Boom. So beautiful scenario. Now pull back, retesting areas that we broke out of previously, and then we'll see where price goes from there. Okay. So down to the 4. We're still inside the AV boundary. All right. Let me bring this level down. All right. Still inside the AV boundary on the 4. But if we break that and push down to that support level, it'll take that out. So watching that there, and what I'm going to do is run this sub fib off the high because we'll likely break that A boundary and continue moving down. So watching that move there, fresh AB boundary, and a continued push to the downside there. Okay. Down on the 1, we hit a D extension and we'll continue to ride down. So we'll watch these lower levels to see where things come in at and look for opportunities as we get there. Okay. So that one took out the A boundary on that last move. And now we're continuing to the downside, right? You see the break of the cloud and then price just continued to run. Okay. So, along with the 80-20 scenario that we had there off the high. So that's the CAD Swiss. Any questions here?
No.
All right, cool deal.
That the Aussie Swiss that we posted like 11 days ago is closing in on target 1.
Yes. Let's look at it real quick. Aussie Swiss on the daily time frame, 80-20, right? Boom to
Posted
the
it on
down.
yeah, we posted it on the 4.
Yep. Moving to the downside there, just shy of that 382, breaking through that daily level at 59,296, right? Headed to the downside on the 4, where a post came. Boom, shallow retracement, 118, 127 zone. We got that trend line break. We got the cloud break, and you see price running to the downside, right? So we're just shy of TP1 here. Right? Sometimes it takes us time, but it goes. So that's 146 right now. That TP1 level is at 168. So another 20 pips or so to the downside to go. All right. So great work there for anybody that was able to take it. Benny, appreciate you spotting that one early on and giving us the heads up on that move to the downside. All right. So that's where we are on the Aussie Swiss, right? The fundamentals lining up with the technicals, right? Some of these we were in well before the data even came out, and the data just pushed price in our direction, right? 618 retracement, the extension achieved. Now you see we're breaking that support level, right? A continuation down, at least in the short term, and then we'll see if we get a low price to then get back long. Okay. Questions on the Aussie Swiss? No, no. Appreciate you bringing that up, bro. All right. And Caddy in. Daily time frame, we had a fresh AB boundary, right? We're pressing back down to the downside. We've got a support level here that we're testing right now, right? But on the fours, where we got our 80-20 scenario that price has just been lingering at, right? All of these looking similar. So again, we want to see if we're able to break this key level and continue to move to the downside if we're going to continue to move south, right? But 80-20 scenario on the four, nice press down. We'll see if we get a pullback, retest some of these previous lower time frame support levels. And if we're able to finally break that and continue moving to the downside there. All right, so there's an 80-20 scenario on the 4 hour and the CAD yen. We might be able to get some continuation and some follow through here, right? Depending on what the data says and how the press conference with the Bank of Canada goes. All right. Yeah, the Aussie Swiss definitely took his time on that. Definitely took his time. So yeah, so with that data coming tomorrow, we definitely could see this one accelerate to the downside with the rate cut for the Bank of Canada and potentially a dovish conversation, right? So continue to monitor that one, but we're pressing out of the zone again, right? We got to break that support level there. Okay, questions on the CAD yen? This is where we are from a 1 hour time frame perspective. We didn't quite get to the 618 retracement level there. No questions, cool deal. So 50% retracement and a press down. Stuck at that trend line though. Haven't been able to really break that trend line, but got the trend line in line with that support level. So we'll see if we're able to break both of those and continue this move to the downside there, right? Matching the extension is here at 110,546. So be interesting to see how this one goes. All right. That's the CAD yen. Swiss yen. Well, this is one that kind of moved in the opposite direction of the fundamentals, but it's been lingering high in the zone for quite some time, right? Monthly 80-20 pushing these highs, right? Weekly 80-20 just shy of the D extension. Daily, we wick the 382 level there, right? And we're just shy of the D extension. So we got these highs that price is sitting at, right? And we're looking to see what happens here. Okay. So we come down to the four. Right. We didn't have it was a 382 retracement, right? And push back down. So this one we may not see a full move down. We'll watch and see how fundamentally it plays out because we got some strength in the Swissy as well. So we'll continue to monitor things there. As we come down to the 1 hour though, right, we got a deep retracement here on the one. Right, crown pattern played out to the upside. Boom, we got an 8-6 retracement. We stayed inside that AB boundary and we turned back over. So looking to see if we break the cloud. If we're able to break the cloud here, right, we're starting to get a bearish twist. Lagging span is broken through price. We got our TK crossover, but we need price to break the cloud here. So this is what I'm watching for here. If we get price to break that cloud in a nice bearish fashion, right, we could see an acceleration of this one to the downside. So we'll monitor that. Matching the extension right now is at 168,589 on the 1 hour. Okay, so we'll watch this one and see if we're able to get this full move to the downside off the deep retracement. Okay, looks something like that there. And then the move down. Okay, so that's the scenario with the Swiss yen. Longer term scenarios, we'll see if we get things to align with the yen. Shorter term scenarios, this is what I'm looking at if we're able to get that break of the cloud. Okay, questions on the Swiss yen?
Nope.
Cool deal. Anybody trading any of these yen crosses? I know they've been tricky.
I'm not right now.
No, I'm in the CAD yen, CAD yen, euro yen, and pound yen.
My UJ order didn't activate, so I'm all out.
All out. All right. That's cool. That's cool. All right. Ann says she's in the pound yen. All right. Beautiful. Beautiful. We'll continue to monitor these and see, right? If we get some actual change. I believe it's next week for the Bank of Japan. So we'll continue to monitor it though. It's an interesting scenario. Let's take a look at this Euro CAD. We got Euro rate statement and Canadian dollar rate statement. So this one's always been for past year and a half. This one has been interesting to me because right, we had this beautiful 80-20 play out, and we've just been literally since beginning of the year 2023, we've just been range bound in this deep retracement zone on the monthly time frame. So we're pushing back up now to the top of the range, 151, 243, right? Trying to catch a pullback on EJ and GJ. Gotcha. Okay, Reese. All right. Yeah, we'll at some point we should get a pullback. And then here on the weekly time frame, right? Capital AB boundary. This was also an 80-20. We're sitting in a deep retracement zone. Got a sub fib running to the upside, and this range is just sitting there in that 118, 127 zone, right? We got key levels that we're breaking back above, headed back to the top of the range here, right? 154.50. So this one, right, cut from both, but potentially hawkish on the euro. We could see this one rise back to the top of this range, right? So I'm watching this one to see what happens as we get there, right? And this one was more just looking at the price action. Nothing is doing right now, but looking to see once we get back into this 151 range, what happens. So I'm just watching this one from afar. I wanted this 80-20 to play out, but I definitely didn't get my wishes here. So watching to see what happens as price continues to rise here. We come down to the daily. We also got an 80-20 on the daily time frame. This crown pattern, I think Donette pointed this out, right? Crown pattern pushing to the upside, right? Beautiful completion, and we're still continuing to rise. So got some ways to go here, but I'm looking for price to get back to the top of the range at least, and then we'll see what happens from there. We got stochastic in the buy zone pushing back along. Okay. On the 4, we do have an 80-20 scenario here. Take these trend lines out. We do have an 80-20 scenario here. Not certain that this one is going to play out, especially with the fundamental things that are happening. Strong bearish action yesterday. I'm strong bullish action yesterday, right? And I think we'll continue to rise to the D extension on the 1 hour here. Okay. This is a larger fib that I have running off the high, right? But pushing back to the higher end of this range and potentially taking out that A boundary and giving us a double top, double top at 150 at least, maybe even pushing higher than that, right? So looking for that one to continue to extend long. And then this is where we are on the one, right? 80-20 on the 1 hour as well. So just range bound overall and looking for a fundamental catalyst to push this in one direction or the other. Now, tomorrow will be interesting, and so will Thursday. So watching that there, you'll see where this one moves to. All right. So just my thoughts on this one. Nothing more than that. So questions on the EuroCAD, right? Looking at this one to continue long. Just pullbacks and continuations. Probably got an 80-20 sub fib here. Yeah. So looking for a low price and then get back long. Nothing there. All right, cool. Cool. Euro Swissy. We're looking for this one to turn back over and continue long. It hasn't done it yet. Daily time frame coming into a weekly support level, right? And 618 retracement. So watching this here, right? Stochastic in the buy zone, rate statement on the for the ECB, looking for them to come in hawkish, right? So this one could settle in here and finally give us a buying opportunity. So we'll watch and see what happens at the support level 96,814. See if we get that catalyst. All right. To the 4, we took out that 8 boundary. We'll run the fib off the high. Boom. And there's our capital fib to the downside, right? The D extension coming in line with that 96,814 level. Okay, so pressing down, look for that D extension to be achieved and a fresh AB boundary on the 4, and then at least to give us a retracement, right? But we could be in for potentially a longer move setting up for with the press conference and rate statement on Thursday. All right, so this is what I'm watching to see if we get fundamentals to align with the technical key levels and fresh AB boundaries. All right, then on the 1, right, also headed to the D extension there as well. Already hit the D extension on the 1, right, and that's all in alignment with that weekly support level there. So looking for a reset at the support level, and we'll see what happens and see if fundamentals align. So watch this one for reversal coming at some point, potentially a C to D move on the daily time frame here. Okay. So that's where I am on that one. We could be in for a nice move long as we touch that support level. Questions on the Euro Swissy? Nope. Okay.
Nope, I was early on that one. I took an L.
Yeah, I took an L on it too.
I'm playing off that daily.
Yeah, I'm with you. I took an L on it as well. I played off that 4 looking for that reversal. I'm definitely going to play it off the daily too. Yeah, I'm with you on that 100%.
Yeah, I totally. I guess, well, you never know. I underestimated the market sentiment with the Swissy based on what he said. I thought that was just going to be a temporary, just blip on the radar, and the price is going to keep on moving. But
I thought it
in the
was
direction I
too.
needed to, yeah, and it really, like, I guess the underlying, the data coming out of Switzerland and just their, you know, their willingness to intervene whenever they have to,
Yeah,
So I guess when you hear that kind of rhetoric, I know for the future, like this may kick in for a while,
yeah.
So But it definitely, I mean, it's making a deeper correction on the daily. I mean, okay, so maybe that one rate cut is it for now, but I mean, it's kind of a data dependent thing,
Yeah.
to see what happens. But we shall see. At the end of the day, they cut rates. They're the first ones out the gate to cut the rates. We'll see. We'll see moving forward. But I'm definitely paying attention to that daily fib. This is coming into a decent price.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm in agreement with everything you said there. Yeah, so definitely learn a lesson. All right, write that one. Excuse me. Write that one in your journal for sure. Excuse me. But we'll see if we get that shift. Hold on one second. All right, so that is the Euro Swiss. All right, Euro Yen pressing down, right? Didn't quite get to the 118, 127 zone on the weekly time frame, but we're still sticking below this 169, 852 level. Weekly didn't get to the D extension, obviously. Pressing down, we'll see how deep this move goes. Okay. Daily is where we have our first 80-20 scenario, right? We created the high there and we're pressing back down. So we'll see if we respect this trend line and bounce, or if we start breaking trend lines and get at least back to 163,950, which is the next key support level, previous resistance, future support. So watching that there to see what happens, but we could be in for a move to the downside here. Finally. On the 4, maybe. There we go. Right. There's a look on the 4. Just missed that 382. Turn back over and press down. All right. So come down to the 1. Here you had an 80-20 scenario. Right. We got range bound, press sideways. Trend line would have adjusted to the outermost point. Boom. Right. So this 80-20 on the 1 is played out beautifully to that 618 level. Right. Depending on where you took it out of the zone, it's 256 pips. Sorry about that. 256 pips. If you play it off the 1 hour, you got TP2 beautifully. Now let's watch and see what happens, right? Do we get a pullback and continuation, or do we get a full reversal ahead to the D extension at 171,544? All right, so we'll watch the fundamentals there and see what happens with the yen. But beautiful move to the downside. Okay. Questions on the euro yen? Nope.
Nope.
All right. Cool deal.
Nope.
Appreciate it. And then pound cat pushing long. All right. Pushing long. Benny's been breaking this one down for us, right? Crown pattern finally playing out. Right? Oops. Oh, head and shoulders pattern. Yeah, head and shoulders patterns. Right? Finally playing out to the upside. Look for a continued movement long there. Okay, we got price stochastic coming down, coming into the buy zone. So we'll look for turnover and push long. Okay. On the 4, we had an 80-20, just wicked that 118 level. We pushed down to the 382. I didn't catch that one, but quick move down, boom, 108 pips to the support level. Now we're headed to the D extension, right? Statement tomorrow, pull back and continuation. As we come down to the 1, right? And this is the move here, 50%, and we're pushing to the D. Okay. So that's it on the pound cat. All right. Boom. So look for that. Just pull back and continuation there. Probably got an 80-20 on the sub fib here, lower time frame. Yeah, boom. So low price. See if we get price to come back into this zone here, and then look to get long. Like that. Questions on the pound cat? Nope. All right,
No, sir.
cool deal. Questions on anything that we covered this more? I'd look at this pound yen real quick. I gotta hop off a little bit early this morning, good people. Something's happening with the dog. So, but pound yen, 80-20 is on all the higher time frames, 80-20 on our daily. We weren't able to break above this 200 level, right? Pulling back now. Pulling back now. We'll see if we get some sustained movement to the downside there. Okay. Coming to the 4, just with that 118 level, and we're pressing down. We already got to that 50% level there. Okay. So on the plans on the 4, played out for you. If you took it off the 118, breaking the cloud, right? We'll see if we can close bearish there. We're trying to get a twist. Lagging span still needs to break the cloud there. So we could potentially be in for some more sustained movement to the downside there. Okay. Coming down to the 1, you see we're just running down. Okay. We're just running to the downside here. Okay. Boom. Right. 786 retracement, D extension achieved. We'll look for a fresh AB boundary. Here you go, Reese, right? Look for that fresh AB boundary to form and that pullback. So we can get back into the zone, test previous support, and then get an opportunity to get back short there. All right. Questions on the pound yen? I know that one was quick. No? No. Questions on anything that we covered this morning? No. Benny, anything before we wrap it up, bro?
No, man. Great session. Great session. Covered some really good setups, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no doubt, bro. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. All right, good people. We will be back at it tomorrow morning, 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the pre-New York session. Continue to be patient. Watch the data. And when price moves into your zone, meets your rules, pull the trigger. All right. Continue doing a great job. We'll see you guys in the morning. Peace. Oh, accountability group, 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. If you're available, tap in with the group. They're covering the book that they're reading, Zurich Axiom. So definitely tap into the group. If you missed the meeting yesterday, check out the recording. All right. We'll see you tomorrow, and we'll see you in the community. Peace.